Hey everybody, it's Dr. Joe and Sleepy Super Callie, and today I'm going to show you some beginner exercises to strengthen the gluteus medius. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure and click on the subscribe button below because that helps my channel grow. So the gluteus medius muscle, which is that booty muscle a little bit on the side, really helps when we walk. So if it's weak, sometimes we have a different walking or gait pattern, and that can make a whole lot of things hurt. So these are just some beginner exercises to really get you going. Also with reps and sets, it's really different for everybody. So if you want to find out more about those, I do have a video for that, and the link is in the description below. So the first one we're going to do is just a modified side plank. And so you want, if you have a specific weak side, you want that weak side to be down towards the floor or the couch or whatever you're on. I'm doing it on the couch, but these can be done on the floor. Couches and beds are a little bit more squishy, so it's going to make it more challenging. But if you have a hard time getting up off of the floor, you can do them on your couch. So with a modified side plank, you're going to kind of bend your knees a little bit because you're going to come up on your knees instead of on your feet. So if it was my left side that was weak, my left side is going to be towards the floor. So make sure that your elbow and your shoulder are in pretty close alignment with each other, because if you're too far out or if you're too far in, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your shoulder. So I'm starting with my knees a little bit more forward than my hips, because when I come up, I'm going to drive them forward, and that's what's going to help with the gluteus medius. So you can kind of have them like this. You can have them a little bit further back to start off with, so you don't have to drive as much forward up. But again, this is going to work those muscles. So when you're coming up, you're pushing up and in. Try and get as much of a straight line as you can. I know it doesn't quite look like that on the couch, but you want to try and bring those hips up, squeeze those glute muscles in, and hold it. So you can start off with just 5 to 10 seconds and kind of work your way up from there, and then coming back down. If you don't get all the way up the first time, if you're a little bit here, that's okay because of some weakness, but the goal is to really try and get into that straight line to activate those muscles. That's what you really want. So the next one is going to be a side lying abduction exercise to get that outer one. So this time the leg that you want to work is going to be up on top. Now always, if you want to, make sure that you're lying all the way down if that's more comfortable. I'm just kind of propped up so I can see you a little bit better, but lie all the way down if this is not a comfortable position. You can keep the bottom leg just kind of bent up for some extra support for your back, and you're going to straighten out that top leg. So the really important part to activate that gluteus medius muscle with this is when you lift your leg, you're going to slightly go behind you and you're going to lead with your heel. So you're kind of turned this way. If you bring it up this way, you're working the hip flexor. So you really want to get this one. So you're going to have to turn your leg a little bit to get that further back. Try and keep your hips in that perpendicular position. Try not to roll back. Keep them up. And then you're just going to go back a little bit that way. So coming back down. But see how I'm turned this way? Again, even straight is not quite going to get the exercise that you want. Really turn that heel up, those toes in, and then kick back behind you. You should feel it activating right there. So if it's not, kind of reset and try that again, kicking up. The next one is going to be clamshells. Clamshells are some of my favorite exercises. Again, if you want to lie all the way down doing it, you can. Clamshells are sneaky. The first couple ones feel pretty easy, but once you get going, they're a little tough. So again, it's really important to work in the proper form. So your hips, again, should be perpendicular to whatever you're lying on. If you're rolling back when you go into that clamshell, you're not activating those muscles. The feet stay together and just the top leg comes up. So bringing it up like this, keeping it in that position. Again, if I go back like this, I'm not getting that exercise, but I'm just lifting as high as I comfortably can without rolling my hips back, and then slowly coming back down. So again, it doesn't look like it's much, but believe me, especially if you haven't done them before, you get to 3 to 4 and you're like, this is pretty easy. You get to 5 and you're like, all right, I'm feeling that burn just a little bit. Then you're going to go into a reverse clamshell. So it's kind of just like it sounds. It's the reverse motion. So this time the knees are going to stay together. You're still staying in that perpendicular position, and now your foot is coming up this way. So that's just kind of getting that reverse movement. And again, these might not feel like a lot. This helps stretch it as well. So this is kind of a good movement with that. So then after you get all of those, the last one's going to be a little bit harder, so you might not be ready for this in the beginning. Do the other ones first. Once they get pretty easy, you can try this. So this time, this is going to be a plank, and then if you can comfortably do the plank, you're going to do a hip extension or a leg extension with it. So when you come into a plank, again, make sure everything's pretty lined up so you don't irritate your shoulders. You're going to push up on your toes, squeeze those glute muscles. So make sure you're squeezing that booty. You're not sagging down. You're not coming up like this. You're kind of staying in that pretty straight line. Sometimes it's not exactly straight if you're really squeezing your glutes. If this is easy, then just a little lift. But I'm not rolling and lifting it because then that's changing the exercise. Squeeze, lift, nice and slow, come back down. Whew, Callie's very tired from her workout. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there, and don't forget to subscribe by clicking down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.